New research indicates COVID-19 might not be as deadly as first thought. But is it true? Let's connect the dots. Antibody testing measures the body's immune response to the virus, and it's a key tool in determining whether the majority of Americans have fought off the disease. It's called herd immunity. In short of a mass market vaccine, it's seen as the most likely sign life can return to normal in the U.S. This week, several new studies showed far more people have those immunity markers than we previously thought. We're talking millions of Americans. And if accurate, that would mean COVID-19 is far less deadly than initial research shows. But some in the scientific community are saying not so fast. Critics are now questioning these antibody testing results. Experts have flooded Twitter timelines and news sites with complaints about the research, from how the researchers recruited their test subjects to the actual math they use, and even whether the tests are providing accurate results. Scientists say while the specifics from these tests may be overblown, they do likely point in the right direction. Most agree there are many more people who've been infected with COVID-19 but had less severe symptoms. It just might not be this many.